All right, today is Wednesday, the 15th. We're going to work on our warm up, and I'm going to go over writing equations. But this time, instead of you giving 1 point and the slope, you're not going to be given the slope or the y-intercept, and you have to find both. Okay, you're going to be given 2 points. You're going to find the slope, then you're going to find the y-intercept like we did on yesterday. Okay, I'm going to go over. I'm going to do another problem like I did yesterday. Because some of us still didn't get what we did yesterday. So I want you to feel comfortable doing that, and then I'm gonna do the last example, which is when you have 2 points, okay, and you have to find m and b, and then substitute m and b into y equals mx plus b. Okay. Tonight's homework is Wednesday. Hopefully we have enough time so that I can go through Monday's homework because I didn't get a chance to do that on Monday. Okay. I want to make sure that we have those problems correct. We did get to go over Tuesday, so we're good with that. Okay. All right. So let's look at Wednesday. Wednesday, we're gonna do the first problem. We're gonna mark the second problem. Well, I want to do the second problem too. It'll take a little longer, but we do need to do one that's like that. Okay. All right. It says what is the slope? So we're finding the slope that passes through these 2 points. So we're going to use the slope formula. You got a question or? No, we hadn't done it yet. So hold off because we just read the problem. Okay, good that you have it though, okay? All right, so let's look at it, guys. We are going to find the slope. We have 2 slope formulas, okay? What are the slope formulas? What's one of the slope formulas? Rise over run is one, okay? Rise over run is one of the slope formulas. What's the other slope formula? What is the other one? Yes.
y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Very good. This is the formula that we are going to use because we're given 2 points. You can't use rise over run unless you have a physical line. You got your packet? Where's your book bag from yesterday? Okay. I should have another one. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about him. Don't sit at the back table or sit at one of the back seats, okay? Either one is fine. All right. I'll have to look for it in a minute. Let me keep going, and I'll figure it out, Jeremy. Okay, so here we go, guys. Sit right there, sweetheart. That's fine. Okay. All right. So we have 2 points. Okay, our 2 points is our first point. So we label this x1, y1. This is our second point that's given. So we label it x2, y2. Now we're going to substitute the numbers into the formula. All right. So on the top, what are we going to put on? What are we going to put on the top? Y2 minus y1. Which one of these numbers did we label as y2? We got 8. So it's 8 minus what number? 3. Very good. What do we put on the bottom? It's x2 minus x1. Which one of those numbers is x2? Social, you know? Mm-hmm. It's -5. That's okay. Minus what? -5. Okay. All right. I'm going to pause real quickly so you can get your calculator because you may need that a little bit later. Let me pause for the calls. Okay, let's look at this part. You should have your calculators now. So on the top, what should we get? We got 8 minus 3. Good. And type this in if you don't remember how to do. We got is 0. Anytime you have 0 on the bottom of a fraction, that's going to be what? Undefined. So your answer here is undefined. If 0 is on the top, then the whole answer is going to be 0. When 0 is on the bottom as a denominator, the answer is undefined. Okay. Tommy works as an electrician. He charges $40 flat fee. Okay. If it's a $40 flat fee, that's the starting amount. So that's going to be your y-intercept. So B in this problem is 40. That's your starting amount. Your y-intercept is your starting amount. That's how much you start off with. A service call, well, flat fee for a service call, and $32.50 for each hour. That's a rate right there. It's for every hour, it's going up. So that's a positive $32.50. So M is equal to, what'd she say, baby? Oh, okay. She don't know. What were you making? Another packet. $32.50 for each hour. Tommy was, so we can go ahead and write this as an equation because we have M and B. So how do I write this as a linear equation? If I have M and I have B, how do I write this, Tater?
Y equals 32.50 x plus 40.
Very good.
You may make about 10 copies.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right. So now this is the equation. Okay, so we can answer the question here. It says Tommy was paid $170 for his last job. So that's the total. That's the total amount that he was paid. This Y in the problem is always represents the total. Okay. The X in the problem is always going to be the number of something. In this problem, it's talking about the number of hours. Okay. The number of hours he worked, or labor. Labor and work is the same thing. This is number of hours work or labor. Labored and work, that's the same thing. If you labor over something, that's the same thing as working. Okay. So it says that Tommy was paid this amount. That's the total. So we're going to substitute $170 in for the total to figure out how many hours he worked. Okay. So let's write the equation. Y is equal to $32.50 X plus 40. Write that down, okay? The total that Tommy had received for working is $170. So we're going to put $170 in the place of the total. Yes, baby.
I forgot my jacket in my last class.
Oh, that's sad. Whose class is that?
Miss Kaner.
Miss Kaner. Okay. Give me a second.
Oh no, it's June.
Who's that teacher?
Mr. Pazino.
Okay, I'll call him. All right. Here we're going to subtract 40 because we got to solve for X, okay? We're going to subtract 40 from both sides. And this gives you 100 what? Come on, subtract 40 from 170. 130. This is gone. This is 0. Now what are we going to do to solve for X? How do you get X by itself? How are you going to get rid of this $32.50 that's attached to X? Divide. You're going to divide both sides by $32.50. Type this in your calculator. 130 divided by $32.50. Okay. How much is it? 4. Okay. So how many hours did he work? He worked 4 hours. Okay. He worked 4 hours. Yes, baby. You have to wait for a person to come back. You said Pazino? Okay. All right, let's turn and look at. Was anybody still copying that? Because I moved that kind of quickly. Is anybody still copying? Okay, let me pause it so you can see that. Let's look at, what's today, Wednesday? Let's look at Wednesday homework. Thank you. Can you call Mr. Pizzino for Jeremy, please? Cause he left his. What did you say you left, baby? Your book bag. His jacket. And with Mr. Pizzino.
You can't call Mr. Container. They can't be down in P.
Oh, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
Um,
I have no idea.
I think he'll be fine with that for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So in the homework tonight, you're finding the slope. So it's the same thing we did in the first problem for the warm up. So let's do that very first one. The formula we're using for slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay. If this is not enough space for you, you can write it out to the side like we did yesterday. All right. So look, computer sliding a little bit. Label this. Amanda needed one and Jeremy needed one. We have x1, y1 for the first point. Second is x2, y2. Is that too small? Can you see that? Can you see that? All right, so let's look at it. Y2 minus y1 goes at the top. So what am I going to subtract? What minus what? 6 minus 5. And then on the bottom, you
2 minus 1.
2 minus 1. Good job. So what does that give you on the top?
1 over 1.
1 over 1. So 1 over 1 is equal to what?
1.
It's just 1. Okay? And this is how you do these problems here. Very easy. All right, let's look at number 7. Let's go down and look at number 7 because it's written in words. All right, so it says the roof of the house rises vertically. Is vertical up and down or left, right? Up and down. So look, y is up and down. So that's the number that goes on top. 2 is on the top. For every 12 feet, horizontally is the x. That's on the bottom. So this is the fraction that you have for m. Now you need to reduce this. So when you reduce it, what can you divide both the top and the bottom by? 2. So what does that give you?
1 over 6.
That gives you 1 over 6. So on the top, when it says rises vertically 2 feet, that means this is rises vertically 1 feet, 1 foot per. And on the bottom, it's saying for every horizontal distance. So this is 6 feet. So it's for every 1 foot vertical, it's going 6 feet horizontally. Okay. And that's how you do the problems that are on the bottom. Do not forget, up, down is the number on the top. Left, right is the number that's on the bottom. Please make sure that you write this so you'll know as you're reading the problems where the numbers go.
You said vertical at the top?
Vertical, yes, the top. Horizontal. Anyone still writing? Couple people, let me pause. I see a couple people writing. All right, yesterday we did example 2. You're writing a linear equation and you're given the slope. What letter do we use for slope? We use M for slope. They did not give you B, so you have to find B. But what they did give you is a point. So they tell you, listen to what I'm saying. Please listen. They'll tell you, write a linear equation where the slope is 2 and the line goes through whatever point they give you. So when they tell you that, what you have to do is find B. Because the only way to write a linear equation is if you have the slope and you have a y-intercept. Sometimes 0 is the y-intercept, okay? All right, but nonetheless, this is how you find B. Let's do a recap real quick. To find B, you have to use the slope-intercept form y equals mx plus b. You take all the information is given, the m, and you see the point that's given, and you substitute those numbers into y equals mx plus b and solve for b like it's just a simple equation. Okay? So now we're going to do that. We're going to do another one. Yesterday we did 4 examples. We're going to do one more of these examples. Then I'm going to introduce you to another one where you have to find M and B. And we did that in the warm-up on yesterday as well. Okay? All right. I know how some of you are a little on the lazy side and don't like to write, but you got to exercise your fingers, okay? So let's do example number. You do a great job. Let's do example E. Okay? Let's do example E. All right, let's suppose that our M, it tells you that the slope is a -3. Amanda, you okay? You all right? And the point that the line goes through the point, let's say 5 and -2, okay? 5 and -2. Come on, Jalen, let's write this down, babe. All right, so now they did not give you B. They gave you M, but they didn't give you B, okay? B is what's missing. So over here, I'm going to write B in a question mark. I have to find B. So I'm going to do this the same way that I did in the other problems. Find B. In order to find B, look at the other problems if you're not sure. What do I use to find B? And I just told you a couple seconds ago. What do I use to find B? Please go back. Right. Very good, Aaliyah. Y equals mx plus b. Okay? That's what you use. Yes, baby. Okay. Say, shh. Good, baby. All right. He's good. He's good. All right. So now we're going to label our point. This is X.
Jeremy's not allowed to go to the bathroom because he's standing and looking into other classrooms trying to talk to people.
Okay. Thank you, baby. Y, X and Y. Okay? Bless his heart, Lord. Just let's touch him in a mighty way, Lord. All right, what are we gonna put? Yes, baby. You're after Isaiah. You already went. Okay, go ahead. You're after. Go ahead. Y here is -2. M is -3. X is 5, and then you bring down the plus B. All I did here, guys, was substitute those numbers into the slope intercept form. What's the next thing that I need to do in order to solve for B? And I did it in the other problems. Multiply. Very good. So we got -2 is equal to, what do I get here? -15. And then we bring down the plus B. And this is a very simplistic, simple equation. How do I solve this simple equation? Aaliyah?
You add 15.
Add 15 to Good job, baby. You have your calculator, so it's no point in getting this wrong. We have -2 plus 15. And what does that, Tater? Go ahead, babe.
15 equals B.
Okay. Nope. What's -2 plus 15? -2 plus 15. 13. Very good. Good, Isaiah, 13. Oh, I thought you said 15. I'm sorry. All right, so now you have M and now you have B. Okay. So what do I do with these two numbers so that I can write the equation? Go ahead. Very good. And what does that give you when you plug it in?
Y equals
-3x plus 13.
Plus 13. Okay. Good job. I'm going to give you this one. I'm going to give you to do completely on your own. I want to walk around to see what you get as your answer. Please use the previous problems to get this problem if you get stuck. All right, this time let's make M. Let's make sure I didn't use that number already. Let's make M4. And let's let it go through the point. Let's do -3. And let's do a positive 1. Okay. I'm going to pause for the calls to give you a chance to write your answer. This is what you should have gotten. And I saw a lot of people with the correct answer or very close to it, okay? You're going to use your finding B because B is missing. When you find B, you use y equals mx plus b. You're going to substitute. You're going to substitute these values. Most of us did this right. I think everybody labeled it right. I think everybody substituted it right also. We got 1 is equal to 4 times what? -3 plus b. And then what did you do after that?
4 times -3.
Which is what number? -12. Okay, good. All right, so now you add 12 to both sides.
And that's 0, and the other one's 13.
Okay, this is 0. Somebody said good. And 13 is equal to b. Very good. So you got b and you got m. So what did you do with that? What?
We plugged it in.
Which gives you, what is your equation?
Y equals 4x plus 13.
Y equals 4x plus 13. Great job. Y'all did good. You almost had that? Look at him smiling. That means no. Yeah, he's telling the story. All right, so here we go. Let's do example 3. I got to move to example 3 because we're almost out of time. All right, so in this example, we're writing a linear equation, but this time you're not given M or B, okay? Write a linear equation, okay? And this time you're given 2 points. Instead of the slope and the y-intercept, you're just given 2 points. Yes, baby. Yes. All right, so this time we're not given M or B. All they give us is 2 points, okay? So let's focus. Of course, I'm gonna do A and B with you, okay? So you get the hang of it, and then you'll try C on your own. So let's do A. Let's do A together. They give you, let's do the point. Let me do one that's not gonna kill you here, okay? Give me a second. Let's do an easy one. All right. Let's do the points. Let's do 1 and 5. That's one of the points. And let's do the other point as 3 and 13, okay? Yeah. You can. All right, I'm going to do this one with you, though, so you will have this as an example, okay? All right, so remember the first step, and if you forget, guys, look, go back. I gave you the steps on page 16. You find the slope, then find the y-intercept, then substitute those into y equals mx plus b. Remember what I told you. They did not give you m, and they did not give you b. So you've got to find both, okay? You've got to find both m and b so that you can write your equation. So let's find m first. Watch what Ms. Reyes does because you've done this before. So we're going to find m. How, Ms. Reyes, do you find m? There are 2 formulas for slope. Remember your formulas for slope? We talked about both of them. What's one of the formulas?
Y equals mx plus b.
And y equals mx plus b is slope intercept form.
Y2
y2
y1
minus y1
over x2 minus
over x2 minus x1. Okay, we got it. We keep writing that because you keep forgetting, okay? And I'm going to keep writing it because we keep forgetting it. All right, so now look at what Ms. Reyes is doing. You use this formula. So I have to label these points. What do I label this first point as? Does anybody remember? We did this in the homework. X1, Mm-mm.
X1 and Y1.
X1, Y1. First number is X. Second number is Y. That's the first point. So it's X1, Y1. What's the second point?
X2, Y2.
X2, Y2. Very good. You see, that's very important. You got to label it correctly because if you don't label it right, your answer is going to be wrong. All right, so now let's do this. M is equal to, what are we going to put on the top? Which one? 13 minus what? 5. Okay, does everybody know where we got 13 from? Right here. Where did we get 5 from? Right here. It's Y2 minus Y1. So we subtract the Y's. On the bottom, we subtracting the X's. So X2 minus X1. What do we subtract? What minus what?
3 minus 1.
3 minus 1. Very good, babe. All right, so now, what do we get on the top? What's 13 minus 5?
8.
Very good. And on the bottom?
2.
2. So what does that equal?
4.
4. So M is equal to 4. We just found M. M is equal to 4. Any questions about that? All right. Please write that down. We found M, so now we have to find B, the same way we did in the previous problems. What do I use? And I keep asking this question over again. And what do I use to find B? What am I using to find B? Y equals mx plus B. Very good. Okay, same thing we did. Very good, baby. The same thing we did in the previous problem, okay? So now, which one of these points do we want to use? Which one do you feel like is the easiest? It doesn't matter which one. Just choose the easy point. 1 and 5. So let's choose this. Box this in because this is what I'm going to use for X and Y. Does it matter which one? No. I'm going to get the same answer if I do the math right. Okay? So if you want to use this one, you can. You're going to get the same answer. All right? So let's use these numbers because they're smaller. Okay? So this is X and this is Y. And this is M. All right. So what am I plugging in for Y? 5 equals 4 times what? 1 plus what? B. Very good. So now what do I do to solve for B? What am I going to do first? What did we do? Come on, we did it in the other problems.
4 times 1.
Which is what? 4. So this is 5 is equal to, we got 4 for this. Then we got plus B. Very good. Now what do we do to get B by itself?
Subtract 4.
This is a positive 4. So we're going to subtract 4. Very good, Aaliyah. So when we subtract 4 on both sides, what does this give us? 1. So B is equal to what number?
1.
It's equal to 1. Okay. So now we have M and we have B. How do we take this information and write it as an equation? Y is equal to what? 4x plus 1. Okay. Y is equal to 4x plus 1. So in these problems, sit up, baby. So in these problems, sit up. Yes, Izelle, sit up, baby. Mm-hmm. In these problems, you're going to find M first, then you're going to find B, and then you're going to plug those values in. Okay? We're going to do another one together. Is anybody still copying? If you are, let me know and I'll stop. Madeline, you okay? Okay. All right, so let's do B. Okay, let me do a good one as well. Go back and do that. I don't want to mess you up just yet on those. Okay, let's use these 2 points, all right? Let's do some negatives. Let's do 3 and negative 3. Okay, and let's do 5 and negative 7.
Can't see it.
Okay, thank you, babe. Let me slide it down a little bit. Okay. All right, so we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We have to write a linear equation. In order to write a linear equation, we need M and B. Okay? Sit up, babe. Sit up, Kylie. Sit up. We don't have M. And we don't have B. Okay? How do we find M? What formula do we use to find M? Y2. Very good, babe. And I'm going to keep writing it. I want you to keep writing it because this is how you remember, okay? They're not going to give you any formulas, so you have to know these by heart. Okay, so let's substitute. Before we do that, I forgot to label. Let's label. What do we label this first point as? What's this number going to be labeled as? X1. What about this? Y1. What do we label this as? X2. What do we label this as? Y2. Good job. Okay. All right. You all are starting to get in the hang of it. That's good. Okay. All right. So now what are we going to put on the top? What minus what? -7 minus -3. Okay. Good deal. Okay. What are we going to put on the bottom? What minus what? 5 minus 3. Good job. Excellent. All right. Don't forget, you can use your calculators if you forgot how to do your integers. Yes, baby. Okay. What did you get for the top? Just tell us the top. Okay. Did somebody get anything different? All right. -4 is right. Okay. What do we get on the bottom? 2. Excellent job. We need to simplify this. What's -4 divided by 2? -2. Good job, sweetheart. So M is -2. Okay. So we find M first. Now we gotta find B. Carmelo, you okay, babe?
Yes.
You okay? Are you starting to get it a little bit? Okay. All right. Am I moving too fast? You want me to slow down a little bit? You okay? All right. Let's find B. What do we use to find B? What do we use? Y equals mx plus b. I'm gonna try to say the same questions over and over again until you get them right. Okay? Come on, Jalen. Sleepy eyes. Come on. All right. You ready? Which one of these points do you feel is going to be the easier point to use? It doesn't matter. It's your discretion. What do you want to use? The first one or the second one? Yeah, me too. We're going to use the first one. You can use the second one. You're going to get the same answer. Okay? You got to pick one, though. All right. So since we chose the first one, what are we going to substitute for y? -3. Jaden, you all right? You okay? You look sleepy, boy. All right. What are we going to plug in for m? -2 times 3. Good job. Then we got, that's okay. And you said it. So you skipped ahead and you went on and multiplied this together. Well, let's bring this down. And what do you get when you multiply this together? -6. Good job. I don't want to move too fast because I know some people, they write a little slow. I should say slower, right? You got it written? Okay. All right. So now, what do we do to get B by itself? This is where you add 6. You did that the last time, babe. You said subtract. I don't know. It's okay. Just do the opposite. All right. So when you add 6 to this side, what does that give you? That gives you 3. No problem. Yes, ma'am. So this is gone, and we're left with B. So now you have B is equal to 3. Gotta plug it in now. Okay, so Jaden, I'm not gonna put you on the spot this time. Make sure you have this written, okay? So how do you write this as an equation? Yes. Go ahead.
No, you gotta give the kid a chance.
That's right.
Y
Yeah, give him a
equals
chance.
Y equals MX plus B.
Y equals MX plus B. Shh, guys, so I can hear him.
Point at me, so
Y
you're
equals
saying,
MX
like,
plus B. Tater, calm down, babe. I'm glad you got it. Calm down. Okay, so you said Y equals MX plus B. That is right. How do I write it as an equation, though? What's going to be the final answer? Go ahead.
Y equals -2 x plus 30.
Excellent. Good job, baby. All right. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do C. Okay. Raise your hand if you want me to do C with you. Anybody still? Okay, we got a couple people. So let's do C, and then D I'll let you do on your own. All right, so let's try this one. We probably won't have time, but that's okay. So let's try this one, okay? We're starting off with kind of some easy ones, okay? So let's do -4 and 21, and then let's do 1 and -4. Okay. All right, I'm going to do this with you using the same steps that we just used, okay? First thing, come on, Jeremy. First things first, okay, babe? You do not have M, you don't have an M, and you do not have B. So you got to find M first, and then you find B. Jaden, focus so you can get this right, because the next one you're going to have to do on your own. Leave his chair alone. He does. He does. All right, so we got M is equal to, what formula are we going to use to find slope? Very good. Please keep writing it because that's how you remember, okay? You keep writing it. At some point, it's going to stick. Now we're going to label. We're going to label the points. What do we label this number as? X1. Come on, Madeline. Y1. And what do we label this as? Very good. Okay. All right, so now let's substitute. What are we going to put on the top? -4 minus what? 21. What are we going to put on the bottom? 1 minus a -4. You have your calculator, so you shouldn't be getting the integers wrong. Type in, if you don't remember how to do it or if you can't do it in your head, type in -4 minus 21. What is -4 minus 21? That's going to be a negative what? -25. That's her phone. Sorry, y'all. Is there like a little tap button that you can cut that? Oh, it's not 24. It's negative what? 25. Thank you, sweetheart. All right. So what do we get on the bottom?
5.
We get 5. So let's reduce that. What do we get as our answer here when we reduce that? What's -25 divided by 5? What kind of 5?
-5.
It's -5. So M is -5. Okay, so we found the slope. Now we got to find the B, y-intercept. What do we use to find B? Come on, y'all. What are we going to use? Y equals mx plus b. Very good. This is the slope-intercept form. Okay, so now you have to choose a point. Doesn't matter which point. Choose the easiest one. Which one do you feel is the easiest one? The first or the second? I will use the second one. These numbers are smaller. I know you got the answer. Put your hand down. Shh, calm down. All right, so we're going to substitute what in the place of y? -4 is equal to m times what number? Very good, babe. Get out my doorway, boy.
I mean, he got outgoing.
I mean, you're welcome.
Oh, yeah, well,
You're welcome.
Y'all do be doing too much. All right, here we go. We're gonna add 5 to both sides. And what did you get for B?
1.
Very good. So what's the equation?
Y equals -5. Negative 5x plus 1.
Very good. Excellent, Amanda. That's good. All right. Put your calculators back, please.